Ugh. Hold on, hold on. I think I gotta edit the video first. Public. Done. Save. I don't know if I'm alive or not. Okay. Oh, what the heck happened? Oh, I am live now. Oh, there I am. Sorry about that. Started streaming less than a minute ago. Alright. We should be good. I think. Should be public. Alright, there we go. Alright. I'm sorry for the delay. Alright, well, anyways, if you haven't seen, we started painting over on Rob's Tabletop World. And basically what we were doing was zombies. Now, I really want to show you this because it's a weird technique that I kind of had to figure out myself. And that's sometimes the thing with contrast paints a lot of times, is that you're going to find that you're gonna make some mistakes. You're gonna get banged up a little bit. I want to make sure that we're still on here. Okay, I believe we are. I think we're fine. You know what? The best thing to do is just double check. But I'm going to keep talking while I'm checking to make sure that this is actually on. You know, one of the things that you do is with these contrast paints, you really got to do things a certain way. And for lighter things that you want to bring out skin tones and stuff like that, you have to undercoat with a very light undercoat. So let me just make sure that we're actually streaming, because it looks like we're having a problem here. Am I there? Yes, I am. Okay, all right. I feel better. Okay, everybody can... Oh, now I'm getting messages. All right, there we go. We're good. Sorry about that. One of the things I forget to do is to turn it public so you guys can see when I make a listing. What can I tell you? We all make mistakes. All right, so anyways... like I was saying, I had a project where I wanted to get all the zombies done for Black Plague. And I used contrast paints. And it was challenging at best because of how I decided to do it. And how I did it, and let's go down to the table so we can actually see. And I'm just going to go over this real quick, because if you see the other video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. What I did is I'm going to take... Which guy is not painted here? Yeah. Okay, we'll go with you. Oh, no, we'll go with you. So anyways, I painted the entire figure with a plague bearer flesh contrast paint. So I took a white undercoat, and then I went over the entire miniature with this plague bearer. Then from there, I decided to paint all their clothing with another contrast paint, which worked out really well, an Agro's Dunes. But the problem is that they're very bright. They're almost fluorescent in a way. So I had to try to figure out a way how to dial that down. Now, I not only did use the Dune there, but I also used another contrast paint, Signor Brown, and you could see that on this individual right here, and we're going to brighten that up, and I'm going to show you how that's all going to work out and everything there. But we've got a little work to do here on some of these guys, and I'm going to show you how we really get things going here. Once that dried, I was like, okay, this isn't going to work. How are we going to do this? Well, I decided to take a shade, an Athonian camo shade, which is a very dark military type of green shade. So I'm going to show you exactly what we got and how we get there. Let me just dry off a brush here. And that way we can get going here. Let me pick out a certain individual. Okay. No, we didn't do this one yet. So we have her here. And you can see that we went over it with an Eshin gray. Okay. But again, all we did was just paint over that area of that wash. And then I just took a little bit of white and just went over her hair. So now all we're going to do is we're going to take this shade or wash, as you call it. You can also use a very dark green wash from our friends at Army Painter, which will work fantastic. Hello everybody, Helen, King Fat, Pete, Zeblik. And then all you're going to want to do is do you see what we're going for here? We want to darken down this figure. Now, like I said on the other channel, for me, the audience I'm painting might be a little sensitive to blood. So that's why I really want these zombies to kind of shine. I want them to shine in their own light and not let the blood take over, because sometimes the blood can be unnerving for certain folks that you may play with, and you really have to think about the people the group that you play with. Does it work or does it not work? And this is just, I find, an easier way by making them stand out and darkening them up and making them more sinister. You find that you actually get more out of it than less. Let's put it that way. You're letting the figure do all the work, okay? And all we do is just take this and work this over. Boom, 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 boom. And then this gentleman here. Boy, I think I did almost everybody, except for these guys. All right, these were the guys that I was missing. So again, just taking that dark wash and just going over everything. Because we have etching gray, and it really dulls down. It really gives it more of a sinister look. And I'm going to show you what they look like when they're done. And one of the girls I have over here is a perfect example that we can show you on how we want to do that. Oh, am I going off screen? No, I'm not. If you are just tuning... Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Helen handles everything. All right, let's go to the other camera here. Oh, there we go. This is just a better angle for me to work with. All right, again. No, I did her. This was the one that we didn't do. And you can see how bright she is. I don't want her bright. Nobody wants fluorescent zombies unless you're playing zombie. Remember when you used to buy the bag of fluorescent zombies back in the day? That was actually pretty cool. Now you see how that just gets in there and it really works. And it really does what I want it to do. And that's all I want it to do, is just darken up this zombie. That's all. And I mean, here is a perfect example of just taking that wash when it dries and what it's capable of doing. Also, we have a few guys over here. We've got a couple fat boys here. You can see his stomach just kind of sticking out. Well, guess what? This is what we want to do. I really want to get that wash in there and really pull out the recess. You know, they've got a lot of beautiful art that they've created here, and all I want to do is I want to pull that out. I want to make that work. I want to make it sit up. And that's all I'm going to do right here, is just really just kind of work that in there. And we're gonna take a look after I'm gonna do these last three dudes here, and then we're gonna start highlighting. We're gonna start bringing them out. Now, all 72 zombies. What is there? 27 and 27. That's 54 plus another 9. 54. Well, no, because you got the two other guys there. 54, 56. So you add 9. That's 65. 65 types of zombies. And then you have your heroes. So there's almost like 70 figures in that box. And just doing this technique, I was able to just run through, and I'm going to show you, I did 27 in 45 minutes. Now, let's be fair. We have to account for the dry time of the spray paint. You get the spray paint in there. Then I allowed for the dry time of the plague bearer. So I was able to just, but the total time I spent at the table, more or less, is what I'm trying to say. I was able to get up, walk away for a little bit, go handle something else, or paint, start working on some of the figures. And I found that, wow, I whipped through all these zombies. Like these guys here, I just whipped right through them on our other channel. And okay, is that guy done, that guy done, that guy done, that guy? Okay, so we have 27 guys here that are right where we need them to be. And it didn't take us long. It really doesn't, because these contrast paints really work and really handle the load. So instead of having to, I had to put a wash on there, but the wash is there for me to dull things down, because I'm trying to accomplish something without over detailing something. So there we go. So let's go to, there we go. See, that box slipped. Let me get my remote control. What did I do with that? Okay, it's over there. Yeah, so professional. Gotta make the noise. Alright, can you, whoa. Okay, let's see if we can zoom in on these guys. Yeah, I mean, I mowed right through these guys. Let's just go a little bit closer. Okay, sorry. Really starting to get a handle of this camera again. Okay, so you could see when they're done how dark and sinister, and I don't need the blood to really sell what I'm doing here. I know I'm moving it slow. I just don't want it to have to focus out again. And you see exactly what we're trying to accomplish here. I mean, that's 27 plus, well, there's 3, 6, 9, 18, 27, and then there's some behind it, if you can see in that right over there. All right, let's come over here. Let's see if we can get you to look at the heroes too, so you can see we still have a little highlighting to do with it, but these contrast paints really do a fantastic job. So I'm just trying to load these guys up here so you can see them, and then we're going to turn. Come on. Oh, what am I doing? Hitting the wrong button. Okay, there we go. See? Welcome to the new world. We tried to add another camera. I'm going to take my elbows off here so we're not killing it here. And I'm going to bring that up a little bit, bring that back out just a hair. Sorry about the adjusting. Again, I'm trying to get used to this camera. Again, that's our heroes right there. There we go. That's what we're trying to do. And you can see we just using some of the contrast here, using a gray contrast here, very quick with a dark wash over the top. Some of the dresses and stuff like that. The Black Templar. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Move over. Don't hog all the space. You see what we were trying to accomplish. So while I was waiting for those things to dry, I'd be working right in here and just knocking out these 7 figures. Okay, so while we were working on that, and really, it's time management and how you go about doing certain things. All right, so let's switch back on over. Let's go there. Oh no, let's go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so boom. Okay, and let me just back out of here. There we go. So now we've got all our guys with our wash, and where you're waiting here is, you're waiting on just your washes to dry. And I got a little bit of puddle there because I got a little happy, and it's okay. Listen, that's what these brushes are for. Take any excess off, or just move it around. Make your bases gross too. There you go. Not a problem. All right, let me clean this off. So now that we put that wash over, we did our contrast, we had that work, and do some things. Now we kind of want to lighten things up a little bit, and I'm gonna pick a couple figures here that are dry enough, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna lighten things up a little bit. We're gonna lighten this guy up a little bit, this guy, and I want to pick guys. Now the thing is when I put these contrast paints over, I just kind of put them over without really putting any detail in there. So now I want to take my smaller brush, and you don't have, listen, if you take a look at these guys, these are good enough for the table. All right, you take your contrast paint, you put your wash over, boom, you've got zombies ready for the table if you want to. Me, if you want to go a little bit more, well, then you can. You don't have to, just leave it where it's be. Nurgling green is a really good color to kind of set the tone there. And I'm going to take a little bit of this Nurgling green. I'm going to put it up on over here off camera. I'm just going to add just a touch of water to it. And just mix it in there a little bit. Just because this paint can be a little thick. And, with this green, what I want to do, especially for like this runner here, who has a rip in the back here, I kind of want to just want to work a little bit of that in there. I want to work just a touch in here. And then over here, he's got a little bit of rip here. That's okay. And we'll work that into there. And that's what I want to do. Now, what I also don't mind doing is taking a little bit of that paint, and if I want to just kind of bring that back a little bit so we don't have as much glow in there, I'm just going to take the paint, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. Kind of all over the place, okay? And I'm just going to take it and I'm going to work it into one of my lousy brushes. All right, I use this for my dry brushing a bit. And we have this figure here, and depending on what you want to pull out, you just take and very lightly just kind of pull and pull out some of the higher points that he has, okay, in his chest and things like that. Over here you want to kind of highlight maybe his thighs and stuff like that. Not his thighs, but his rickety knees. Pull out his midsection a little bit, and just by lightly, ever so lightly, taking and working a little bit of that plague bearer in there. Now all of a sudden you're dulling our boy down a little bit even more, but you're also highlighting really taking and pulling some of that detail out, okay, by just lightly, ever so lightly, and just go easy. Let the brush do all the work. I mean, that's why you buy all these nice fancy paints, right? And that's what you want to do. Now all of a sudden he has a little bit more detail to him. And that's how you're going to just bring out his skin a little bit. You don't want to overdo it, because if you overdo it, what you're going to do is you're going to lose all that detail, all that wash in there that you want to do. So you just lightly want to go. You want to keep the structure. See how we have his back structure in there? That's what we want. Exactly. And then, boom, done. Let me clean that off a little bit. Another thing you want to do, and I always find very, very effective, especially with dark colors, is to take, for instance, we got Big Boy here. And there's two things I want to do with him. I want to do very lightly, but I'm going to do the first thing first, is I'm going to take some Celestial Gray. It really dulls down some of the clothing and makes it dusty and like it was in dirt and stuff like that. But you know, you got to be real careful with this, and that's one of the things that we really want to do here. I don't want to use that brush. Okay, I'm going to use this one here. I'm all over the place, you know. So I'm just going to move some of these figures out of the way. I'm going to show you how we're going to bring some depth to their clothing, and all I want to do is I want to shake this up a bit. There we go. And I'm just going to get, and again, you know, there's other ways to do it, but I'm showing you the beginner easy way to do things, okay? And this is just the way I like to show people, because I want you to pick up a brush. You know, I'm not going to show you a lot of technical things, but I'm going to show you some shortcuts that I think are easy, and just keep things nice and simplified, because the most important thing is just get you to pick up the brush. Like Rodney was saying on the other thing, boy, I'm scared to do it. Well, don't be scared. Don't be scared. And that's why we do what we do, because even we make mistakes. We almost made like a horrible mistake with this whole thing. I'm just going to take a little more of this and just work it in here so I feel a little more confident. I want to really make sure I get that color into that brush. But the main thing is I don't want to turn it pitch gray. I want to go lightly over it. Okay? And if you're unsure, just go on the bottom of your thing like that. All I want to do here, okay? And I don't want to hit any of the skin, but I just want to kind of bring out some of the detail there. Probably got a little bit too much paint on there, but that's okay. Because when it dries, it's going to give me what I want here. I can go over hair even if I wanted to. Just to kind of catch that a little bit. And just lightly hit those highlights. Now you see how that dress starts to work now? Just ever so lightly. Just the littlest things sometimes can do so much, and you'd be surprised. And we're going to fix that leg of hers too, because we can take that smaller brush that we just had. We can take some of that green paint that I still got over here, and you just come in and you just outline that leg. Make that leg stand out. See that? You see how that works? Nice and easy. Just nice and easy. Just got a little bit, and we're just going to tickle that a little bit. And come over the highlight of her hands a little bit. Maybe even come over her face just a hair. Down that gray hairline. Just simple enough to get to the table, and that's all we're trying to do. Now we got Fat Boy over here that we got to take care of. Let's hope he's not very sensitive. Now, even though this is a brown, this gray kind of works. It's going to work for me. And I just want it ever so lightly. Because I want to add just a little bit of creepy detail in there. Boom, boom, boom. Just enough. Come over the top here a little bit. Dull that down a little bit. Dull this whole outfit down. And just hit the higher points. And that's all I'm trying to do, is just sell what he's got there. We're going to fix his helmet later too. Just dust them up a little bit. I always find that and you don't want to hit the skin. Don't hit the skin. Just nice and easy. See, even Gabby's coming out here to check. No, she's just coming out here to lick on my water bottle and mess that all up. Yeah, hi. Yeah. It's just a little bit there. Just a little itty bitty thing. And then I'm going to take some Emperor's Children, because he's got a little split in him. All I want to do is just take the littlest bit there. I just kind of, I'm going to spin it here. And then all I'm going to do is just come in here and just kind of work that in there a little bit. Just a little bit. So it looks like his organs are popping out. But not gross enough where it's going to scare some kid. I would feel horrible if anything I painted scared some small child into having nightmares. I mean, that's not what we do there. See? It's ooky. It looks ooky. And the best thing about it is it accomplishes what I really want to accomplish. Okay? I want it to be ooky. I want you to have a zombie feel. I want it to be thematic. But I don't want it to be too terrifying where small children can't play this game with their kids. And I'm a small, you know, I'm not talking small, you know, like a 5-year-old. You know, I'm talking anywhere from 9 to 12. You know, we don't want to give anybody nightmares. Heck. And then just come over again. No skin. No skin. Just nice and easy. Over the high points. See the edge of the shirt there I want to make sure that I'm getting. Exactly. That's all we're trying to do here, folks. Right up the spine here so you can see some of the stitching. I really like adding that gray in there sometimes. It's enough to, it takes and really just whoops. There we go. My hands are getting old, folks. I'm gonna have to go to a holder soon. You know, a little bit like that, and then, you know, again, pick out that green. You know, check out each guy. Maybe you want to add something to really sell him apart. And I'm just getting some of this green off here. And where's my little helmet? Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So now, all we want to do is, you know, we could pick out a certain area and add that little bit of green there. See how that it's just a little itty bitty effects, and you'll see it when you start picking it out. Okay, he's got a little bit of an elbow there. So again, work and pick it out. And just look around. See where you can find something here. Oh, there's a little hole there. Okay. Well, I'll put his icky flesh in there. Now he's coming out fine. You want to work a little bit onto the chin a little bit. Okay. Want to bring his face out a little bit. No problem. You could do that. You could do that. Just work your brush in there nice and easy. Nice and easy, like I tell you. Maybe we got a little bit of that gray on there. Well, that's okay. We're able to fix that with a little green plague, and then boom, insto zombie. It's not hard. You can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, let's put this guy here. Well, let's work a little bit with our buddy here. And where are we at? 29 minutes? Okay, we're doing all right. We'll talk a little bit more. I'm just going to take a little, just a little bit, little dab. Working into that same area. That's all we want to do. That's all. And we're just working and pulling and working and pulling. If you were just tuning in, oh, okay. She's already on top of it. That's Helen. That's Helen, folks. That's how we do it. All right. So now we're just taking all that paint off, taking it all off. And then we're going to take our Zombicide guy, and what do we want to pull out here? Well, I want to make sure I don't have a lot of paint on there, but I really want to just pull out a little bit of detail here. That's all I want to do. I'm looking at this thing, and I'm going over the top here. I am. Because honestly, you can get away on your table by just using those contrast paints, like I said. And if you're just tuning in, I'll go over it very shortly. Once again, I want to make sure that you know. And to get a real good synopsis, you can either restart this video or you can go over to Rob's Tabletop World, and we actually show you how it all gets done and how we do it. Now you see what I'm going. Do you see what I'm talking about here? We just left that gray there. It's just kind of hanging there, but by just dry brushing a little bit over, just a little bit, it kind of gives us. We're pulling detail out. We're just pulling that detail, and we're really bringing. We can even come down into this, into that. What do we call that? This is another contrast place. Agro's Dunes. Okay, just pull, just a little kiss. That's all. Look how lightly I'm going with my brush. I'm not pushing hard at all. I'm just taking my time. I'm enjoying the afternoon, enjoying spending time with you guys. And I'm letting the brush do all the work. I'm letting the paint that's on here sit and do its thing. And boom, there we go. And again, like I said, I still got a little bit of that green paint over there. Yeah, I do. We have Nurgling green over there sitting. We cut it with a little bit of water. Boom. All right, I'm just gonna add a little bit more here. There we go. Get it good on that brush. And then just pick out a few things. You know, because you went over everything a certain way. Let's just. I see a little hole here. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put a little bit of zombie in there. You know, these guys were not shopping at Target. Okay. They were not shopping at Target. They had a holy, you know, their clothes were all messed up. We could work a little of that over there. Work a little bit of that in there. Let's see if there's anything else. No, I think that's good enough. Just that little bit of touch there gives a little more detail. A little more detail to our friend here. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So, like I said, I went through all these, you know, excluding drying time. I want to exclude drying time. And I took care of all this in, I'd say 45 minutes to an hour. And let me just go back over to our thing so you can see. Oh, well, that's our heroes. That's a whole nother story. Well, let's move our camera. Oh, wrong way. And we'll pull it out a little bit. And you can see, you know, 27 of those I did in about an hour. And then the ones that I did here, you know, it was about 2 hours. 2 hours to get almost 70 zombies done. And what that's going to do is going to free you up. And again, during your drying time, take your time to start working on your heroes. You know, start putting your base coats on your heroes. You get the wash done, boom, take care of it. Wish I had those painting skills. You do have it, Fabio. It's inside you. You can do this. Anybody can do this. I'm promising you that anybody can do this. Sam, I don't understand the purpose of contrast paints. I'm a bit of a painting noob. Anyone want to help me out? What it does is it cuts the paint a little bit, so it kind of helps. It adds a transparency to it. So say you have how's the best way to do it here? I'm trying to think if I got a figure around here that I can actually show you. Oh, well, hold on. I don't know if I can do this. Okay, so we're gonna come over here, and I'm just going to try. We're going to see if we can get this done in time. I've got a base coat here, so see, I try to help everybody out here. All right, so I don't know how this is going to work because again, this is not a primed figure or anything like that. So we're going to put a little base coat on it, and then we're going to go up top, and we're going to talk for a little bit, for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to kind of show you what's going on here. So I'm just taking a little bit of this, and I don't want to plop it on there too much, but I'm going to do the best I can. Okay, so this is going to be my primer. Okay, and all I want to do, and if you're wondering what this is a rat from Rumble Slam, which is going to be part of our whole show here. Top Pro Wrestling. You're going to want to watch that. So this is going to be my primer here, okay? So all I'm doing is I'm getting the white undercoat onto this figure, okay? So I want you to remember what I'm saying here. We're getting a white undercoat onto our figure. And I'm just going to put a little bit more. And then I don't know if it's going to pool up because the figure hasn't been washed. And there's a lot of things that go into everything that can kind of, just trying to pull what I can here. This is like a last second thing. So again, just trying to get you guys to see how this all works. And I don't know if I can pull this off, but you know something? It's worth a try, isn't it? Somebody asks a question, that's what we're here. Especially if you're new to painting and you want to give it a whirl. So all I want to do is just kind of get his, as you can see, his midsection here. So I'm going to show you with two different types of paint what's going to happen here. All right. So when you have regular paint, I want to make sure this isn't on thick so it doesn't dry. Okay, there we go. So it doesn't take forever to dry. So we're going to give that a few seconds, and plus I got the air conditioning going out here. So I'm going to go up top for a little bit, and I'm going to wait for him to dry. All right, so here's the thing. Okay, your paint, there's three parts to paint. So I'm going to try to explain this the best way I remember. I may be wrong. So especially with an acrylic paint, you have your medium, you have water, you have your pigment, and then your medium. And they all go together and they formulate this paint. And there's kind of a glue in there too, I think. I could be, again, I'm going off the top of my head instead of reading like I normally do. So regular paint is thicker, okay? And it's going to go on and it's going to create, you know, a layer, a complete layer. Now, when you take and you add more medium, that cuts into the pigment and to the water, and it makes the contrast more translucent. So what does that do? So if you have a good undercoat, okay, so say you have a gray undercoat, and we're gonna be working with a brown here. Actually, what we're going to work with, we're going to work with this Signor brown, and I'm going to get. I'm going to have to repaint this whole figure, but that's okay. That's okay. It's for you guys. Okay, here we go. We're going to take a Dryad Bark, which is a dark, thick brown. And we're going to put them both. I'm going to try to split the figure, and I'm going to show you. When you put the contrast, you're going to be able to see details. So it kind of acts like you're painting it, but it also gives you certain things in those recesses. And it's going to really kind of stand out. You're going to see things, and it cuts a bit of painting out. You almost don't have to do a wash sometimes, depending on what you are painting. It builds depth, and one of the things that we always talk about is the layer of depth that we are trying to create. If you ever notice when sometimes when you just put a base coat of something, you say, well, I got all the colors and all the metals on here, and it just looks like a cartoon. But then all of a sudden you add like a wash or a layer, or you dry brush. Now all of a sudden you start pulling out the details of the thing, and now it becomes more alive. It becomes this 3D kind of thing, and it starts to have a life of its own. And you can see that in some of our guys here. Yeah, no, I showed that already. It's another thing like we were showing on the metallics. As a matter of fact, while we're waiting for this guy to dry, I'm going to show you a bit on how you can make things look metal. And it kind of works in the same instance. It's how you layer things out and create depth, shadows, and light. So contrast takes a shortcut in helping you create those shadows and light. So where is he? Come here, big boy. I gotta do this anyways. All right, so we're gonna take this guy for instance. So now we're gonna be talking about shadows and light and metallics and how different layers create depth and also metallic. So we're doing two things at once here. So let me just and we did this over on the other on Rob's Tabletop World. That other channel. That little itty bitty, tiny, teeny, insignificant, but lots of fun channel. All right, so how about I put on a pair of glasses? That'll help. We'll get back to that rat, but right now we want to take a look here. So we turn this into a little bit of a lesson here too. All right, so here we have our hero here. Okay, do you see how dark that armor is? And you're saying, wow, that's not too bad. Okay, but the problem is that where we have the wash in there, and it's creating a dimension or three-dimensional look. Let me change to a different angle here. Okay, there we go. That's all fine and dandy, but adding another layer, a lighter layer, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to see something here. So let me just shake this up a little bit. Let me just get my, where's my little crappy brush? And it's moments like this. All right, so you have, if you just put this particular paint on, it would look very, not very, it would look very phony. And I'm going to show you on the bottom of this thing. So this is a metallic, and I want to take some of it off here. But if I was just to paint this on a miniature, well, I mean, it really doesn't look like much, does it? It just, oh yeah, that's kind of silver. But here we've already put a lead belcher, which is a darker pigment of metallic. And now we're taking this very, very light metallic, and now we're going to create what we're talking about that we kind of create with the mediums and contrast. And that's a level of depth, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're just going to, it's such a subtle thing. It's such a, oh wow, look at that. Now all of a sudden we have that depth underneath. See, all of a sudden now that's really metallic and how that stands still. But wait, just wait. Very lightly, we're going to be touching our buddy's armor here. And we're going to bring that to life. Okay. How are we doing that? I mean, I'm barely touching this figure. And look what's happening here. Look what's happening. Look how wonderful that is. Watch his leg. Watch what happens when we go over this leg. I mean, are you kidding me? Boom. It's like a whole different guy now. And now we're going to come over this other section here. And we're going to work in here a little bit. Even though you guys can't see that right now. And then we're going to come, and I'm not even taking and applying a lot of paint here. I'm just touching this ever so lightly. And look what's happening. See how much brighter he's becoming? And the harder I push, the more I'm getting out of it. Look at that. Now all of a sudden, it feels like he has armor on. It feels, and he looks more majestic. Doesn't he? Huh. The depth is still there. The depth is still there. But now there's this sense of regalness and armor, and it feels like he has metal. That kind of works the same way with contrast. Let's see if this is dry. All right. So now here's our guy here. And we're going to do two things here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our... Now, I'm not going to water this down or anything like that. Of course, I got to get the one that's almost dried up. Isn't that typical when you're trying to show somebody here? This is a very dark brown, okay? So what am I going to do here? I'm just going to paint that on there, and yeah. All right. So that's a very... So now I'm going to have to dry brush over that to lighten it up so we can do exactly what we were trying to do with the other figure. Okay. I'm just going to paint his arm here. Okay. So what do we have here? Look at his arm. Look how it's okay. It's brown. That's it. That's all you're going to get from it. Now, when we take this other brush here, we take our contrast paint. Hold on. We're going to get a little bit more here, depending on the detail. I just want to make sure that this brush was clean and dry. So we'll take our dune here, and then we'll do the same thing. But what happens here? Okay? What happens here? Because of the medium, okay? And again, this is a messy way to show you. Because of the medium, because of how thin that becomes, it's going into the recesses and darkening certain things up. Now, I don't think that was the right color to do it with. So because we painted over here too, you're going to get a couple of different looks at it. What did I... Oh, see, I grabbed the wrong one. We're going to go with a darker one. But I want you to see what this does. Okay? All right? I want you to see what this does. Well, this went away from zombies to contrast paints, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, so now, in the same instance, okay, I can probably come over the top here because I don't think I painted over there. But again, do you see the difference here? That's the same dark color. I'm trying to get this so it could show up on camera properly. Let me just get a little bit more here. Again, I don't think I got the primer, the paint that I wanted to use for a primer properly over there, but hey, this I think you'll get at least the idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here. Alright. If I can just get everything covered. Yeah, you see, I didn't get it all in there. So, well, we're doing the best we can to kind of show this off. Alright. Again, this is like a last second thing, so forgive me. Forgive me, my friends. Forgive me. Alright. And some of it is rolling back a little bit because of... Okay, so now hopefully, if we can show this properly. Alright. Over here, it's just a very dense brown. Here, because it's thinner, it's in the recesses, but it's also thinner, so that color that's beneath it is coming out just a little bit, just enough, where now we can work a lot easier with it. So that's what the contrast does. It pulls out your detail, where if you just use a regular paint, now you've got to go over it with another color to pull out the detail. So I hope a poor example, but something I think we'll talk about a little bit more next week with some of the things that we have going on. So I hope that explains things and helps things a little bit. We tried. All right. We did exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to go about 50 minutes today. I'm trying to keep things shorter so it keeps people a little bit interested. I hope you guys enjoyed this today. How quickly it is to take care of zombies. Okay, and we'll take one more look over there. You can mow through all these without a problem. And where's my little thing here? And you can see that we did all these zombies, all those heroes, and all these zombies in about 2 hours. Which, you know, if you really think about it, okay, in the long run. Okay, there we go. In the long run, I mean, how much more could you want? I mean, to be able to get a game painted in 2 hours and then have it ready for so you can do it with your gaming group. I think that's just a fantastic thing, and that's what these contrast paints do. Is they cut out some of the extra stuff there. Okay, I don't want to use that camera that way, even though it's nice now having a fifth camera. There you go. I think I've said it all. I'm done it all. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this helped in some way. As you can see, this is such a beautiful set to do and play with and have some fun with. And you can get a lot of things done and really create some wonderful, wonderful memories for you and your group and whoever else you play with. All right. I've said it all. I've done it all. And I've had a wonderful time spending my time with you guys here on Board Game Geek TV and also on Rob's Tabletop World, where we had both parts going and it was a lot of fun. Check out the first part. I think you guys will enjoy it. I had a wonderful afternoon spent with you once again, and boy, I'm pretty much done here. Whew! Boy, am I glad, because now we have to paint other things. More or less, we've got things to play too on Rob's Tabletop World, and that'll be fun to do as well. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you want, now next week, we left a choice for everybody, and put it down in the comments below. Put it down in the comments below. What do you want to see? It's Halloween month, so we're doing zombies. Do you want to see Zombicide Invader? Do you want to see how to do space zombies? Or do you want to see how we can go back in time to a 50s type monster game? It's Space Cadet Away missions with, you know, just a lot of cheesy 50 feel to it. I'm going to leave it up to you guys which one you want to see painted. The week after that, we're going to be doing some of the figures from Oathsworn, the amazing Kickstarter that has just shattered everything in 2 days, $1.5 million. I'm so happy for those guys. They're fantastic, and make sure you check that out on Kickstarter. I think that's about it. I've said it all. Another great afternoon with you guys. Sorry we missed last week, but we had a whole bunch of things, and we were trying to get the other camera to work as well. So next week, look for it. Let me know what you want to see down in the comments. Till next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.